problems that were assigned as independent student work. This problem asks us to write our solutions as numerical expressions, and it says that we need to find at least 2 ways to get Cecil across. 2 ways. For the first one, a possible solution might be 4 plus 1 plus 1. That does equal 6. Or we could do 3 plus 3. Remember, we are told that we needed to use these lengths. The next span of rope that we have is 8 feet, given the lengths 2, 5, and 7. Let's take a look at this one. One way that I could get there is I could add 5 and 5 more, and then I can add a -2, or I could add 7 plus 5, and then I could add a -2 plus another -2. You might have done something slightly different, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. In the past, when we've been talking about simplifying, we also use the word evaluate. That means that we want you to find the answers to the following expressions, or in this case, expressions and equations. 5 plus 2 plus 8 comes out with 15. 4 plus 9 plus 3 gives me 16. And I know that from my problems that I've been doing, we are talking about feet. So I'm going to go ahead and label that so I know what I'm actually talking about in a precise and accurate identifier. The next problem is 7 plus 3 plus 2 plus -4. And that gives us 8 feet. And our last problem is 8 plus 6 plus 2, which gives me 16, plus -5. We end up at 11 feet. And then we're going to be looking at some axis, or some number lines that are vertical instead of horizontal. And there's a couple of different ways to work through this. For this first one, looked at the numbers that I was given, and this one was pretty easy for me to do from 0 up. So I end up with 10, 20 is given, 30, and 40. Those are my missing numbers for that one. This one here, I always take a look and see what I've been given on my number line. This one was a little more complicated. I needed to think about how I could move this down. And when I was looking at this, I thought, well, this is 4, 3, 2, and 1. That gave me a little bit of a help. I ended up having 8 and 1/10 here, 16 and 2/10, 24 and 3/10, and some of you might have forgotten this one at the top, 40 and 5/10. Down on the bottom here, this one was a little bit easier. I have 8, and I've got 3 more things here. I've got 4 parts, 4 portions. This one I worked backwards and I came up with 6 and 6/10. This one would be 4 and 4/10, 2 and 2/10, and not to forget the one up on top. The one up on top is kind of weird. This one would be 11. And to double check, you can add 8 and 8/10 plus 2 and 2/10, and you'll see that I'm right. Okay, this one here, Thinking about if I divide 10 into 3 equal portions, I end up with 3 1/3, 6 2/3, 13 1/3, and 16 2/3.